this entire group of people, so many Niftins, which has been like my family for 20 years, Rupa ma'am. 2006. So I would like to thank Shri Yash Arya, CEO and founder, I Am Khadi, Ms. Rupa Nayak, Senior Director, World Trade Center, Dr. Ajit Kumar Nigam, CEO, NIV Foundation for Design and Innovation. Thank you very much for giving me this platform to talk today on eco-textiles. Okay, so on the onset, I would like to show you a small video. We will start with the fiber stage. So yesterday, everybody was talking about sustainable, eco-textiles, recycling, upcycling. So what we do is, we start the upcycling, recycling from the fiber stage, which is the entire supply chain from fiber to fabric and then the finished garment. So starting out with a small video. I'll start? Thank you. I'm sorry for any technical hitches. So this is the entire process of the waste which is collected, and India being an agricultural country, there is a lot of waste which we can convert into fibers. So this has been over a 10-year process from 2009 onwards. Of course, there have been many challenges faced, as you know, because we are dealing with clusters. I'm sure everybody today, the faculty members also who have been tediously dealing with clusters at every stage, know that there is a lot of communication gap, there are a lot of technical hitches, you know, which we always face when we have to introduce a new technology for them, or we have to create even a livelihood. People are not so acceptable, especially in the rural areas. So we'll go through it slowly. So I want to just know how many of the students in today present with us have done clusters. Raise your hands. I think all of you, in different parts of India, right? Am I right? So can you name which clusters have you worked for? Which handlooms have you done? Sorry, I can't hear. Okay, pit loom. And what techniques have you been teaching the workers, and what kind of fibers and yarns have you used? So this is a bit about my collection. I think let's finish the video and then we can talk about it. So this is converted. This is the pseudo-stem fiber, the banana pseudo-stem, which you can see the fibers in the dupatta actually, because it's been woven on handloom in Aurangabad. I'm sure you guys must have also gone to Aurangabad. Pethan, you'll have not gone? Close by. Okay, Yevla, I think you guys have gone, right? Okay, so these, you want to just go through the last portion again? You want to see? So I'll just go through the fiber, so the entire yarn, 1 second. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just show you the collection which was done in handloom. This fabric is done in handloom. And the warping has been done with cotton yarn, and then you insert the banana pseudo stem in the wefting process, simply because it is not a very strong filament yarn. I'm sure you guys know what is a filament yarn. What is a filament yarn? Yeah, so it has to be correctly woven. It doesn't have to snap. Otherwise the fabric loses its dimensional stability. Okay? Yeah, the video is not being played. Just see if, go over the videos. No? So just wanted to show you the finished garment. The warping is in cotton, the wefting is in banana pseudo stem fiber. You can see clearly from this drape actually. And we've even made accessories of the small staple fiber which we collected, which we could not use on the loom, you know, because it's not easy. If you guys have, how many of you guys have worked on the handloom? Raise your hand. So you worked on handloom, you know if the yarn is not strong, if the yarn is not of filament type, it's very difficult to weave it, right? So that is why the short staple fibers, we used it to create these surface ornamentations with small swatches. Okay, so this is a brief about the entire journey which has started from 2009. And where's the other folders? The presentation. Sorry. And then I start with this. Okay. Yeah. So I'm starting off on the onset with the fabric stage, which is not necessary woven, which could be even non-woven. Okay. So the the entire exercise was done in such a way how we can reduce cost. We are using the waste of the fiber, be it a banana pseudo stem or be it a pineapple fiber or even a coconut. Even the coir which you get. The idea was to reduce as much as monetary induction in the process as possible and trying to give money to the farmers or the clusters wherever the artisans were working. So we identified certain clusters where, of course, the agricultural plantation was at highest. So these are some images. I'll take you to the next slide. Of course, I've just written a few about the leading states where there is maximum agricultural cultivation happening. And this is the kind of waste which we identified. And just a little info about every state. Just a little technical info, and yes, this is, you can see clearly how the process, how the extraction of fiber is done. I think that is the challenge. Once you have your yarn ready, it's not so difficult to make a fabric. Am I right or wrong? I mean, you guys have been working on the loom, right? All of you. Okay, I'm seeing everybody nodding the head, so everybody's an expert weaver now. Rupa ma'am. Everybody is an expert weaver now. Next time you'll see beautiful fabrics in your department. So the challenge is to extract the fiber and convert it into the yarn. That is the most technical process, and which requires, of course, a little bit training for the workers. So if you're identifying the clusters where there are plantations, where there is waste, and then you identify that this cluster does not have a certain income group. They don't fall in a certain income group. Okay, so mostly I would say it's a job of women. It's a women-oriented job because, sorry to say, women are very meticulous and very neat, and they have great organizing and sifting skills. By sifting, I mean to say they can sift between a short staple fiber and a long filament fiber, which is very important. When you have the whole stems coming and you have the entire waste coming, it's important to sift your waste, okay? You can't just use it and you cannot just put it in a bundle like a cotton bale. You've seen the cotton process, how the cotton is collected. So this is a little technical, which requires some amount of training at the cluster level. So of course the fiber is rinsed, and we wanted to keep, this has been a long process, as I mentioned, it's from 2009 on, onwards. So we wanted to keep the fiber as natural as possible, because we tried a lot of permutation and combinations. When you dip the fiber in a dye, for instance, okay, or you dip the fiber to make it chemically strong. I'm sure all you guys know. Normally even at yarn stage, I think at yarn stage it is done when you have these, ikat saris, when you tie-dye your yarn. So that is a simpler process because you know the behavior of the yarn. Is it a natural yarn? Yes. Or is it a man-made yarn? Okay, so natural fibers, you know that, okay, you use organic dyes or you use vegetable dyes, it's going to bleed. Okay, am I right? In any natural fiber, if you use any organic dyes, it's definitely going to bleed. So these are the certain kind of limitations which, we had to keep in mind. All of us are designers over here. I can see most of you designers. But sometimes it's very important, I think all the times, to study the technical aspect. And it looks like the picture looks very rosy, that yes, India has so much of agricultural waste and we are going to be doing this with, some of the students, I remember MDes, Rupa ma'am, they took the rice stock. I remember, I think 3-4 years back, that was a very beautiful project which we did. So they used the waste of the rice and they made this entire machine. I don't know how far that has gone, but it looks very nice on paper. As I said, you know, the project as a report, it looks very attractive and it looks very lucrative, you know, for the, even for the general public, that, oh, you're using so-and-so fiber, you're using so-and-so crop. I would call it an agro-waste crop. But when you actually sit down to making it a garment, then you understand a lot of limitations, like a lot of limitations. And that is why it takes us so much time. Like when I'm saying from 2009 onwards, because there is so much of red tapeism involved. When you have worked with clusters, all of you, you guys know that the weavers don't work, or even the people who are doing don't work beyond 6 or 7. They work only during sunlight hours. It's very difficult to extract work from them. Okay, however lucrative the money would be, because they are used to that certain lifestyle. So as I said, number one, mentoring is very important. You know, one has to mentor them, because I remember even for some crochet thing, the students went to Goa, they said it was not happening so fast. And we are so used to living in this rat race in Mumbai and other metros that we push our collections. You know, we literally push our workers to deliver on time, to get our garments tailored, or be the beaded embroidery or whatever. So we are used to that mindset from childhood, where even we are pushing ourselves in whatever field we are doing. But it's not the same in rural clusters, because sorry, we are talking of rural clusters which are not even Nasik. I'm talking of a cluster which is like basically, you know, I mean, in one of these zones where, you know, I mean, there is no kind of employment. People are leaving the villages and going to other greener pastures for employment. So this is the cluster which we, identified, which is rich in agricultural crops, lot of waste, but you have to train them. So the training is the most important process. Okay, now starting off with the non-woven fabric. Okay, as I said, that without increasing the cost and using the short staple. Everybody knows the difference between short staple fibers and long filament yarns? Everybody's an expert over here. Okay, so what do we do with the short staple fibers? Do we just leave it? Do we just leave it? No. So we used it to make it into non-woven fabric preparation, which can be used in the industries. So have you seen these kind of bales and these kind of fabrics happening with coir sheets? How many of you have seen? Used in mattresses? All of you must have seen, no? These coir bales, those sheets which you use. Have you seen or no? No? They are very popular in Kerala, where there is the highest production of coconut. Okay, so these coir sheets are traditionally used from centuries to prepare this kind of matting. I would call it a matting. So today we try to make the matting out of the pseudo-stem fiber. So basically, what are we trying to achieve? What are we trying to achieve? At the end of this, I mean, what are we trying to achieve? We are trying to enhance the depleted natural resources. Obviously, cotton, linen, the primary natural resources which we have, I would say fibers, or which could be converted into yarns. So cotton, for example, linen, for example, and obviously coir, which is used in all the industrial uses today. Of course, even a lot of fabrics. So these bales, so these are the certain potential commercial uses of the non-woven pseudo-stem fiber. A, very important, acoustic and sound absorption, and this we have tried it. This we have tried it for certain music recording, these recording studios in Andheri. So especially went there also, we said, let's just do it. So as I said, you make a project on paper, it looks very lucrative, it looks very attractive. The minute you are seeing it to the fullest, the minute you are trying to achieve that standard where you're actually able to make a difference, that is when you have a challenge every day. You have made a product, you have worked hard for years, but the end result has to, justify the effort you have made. Okay, so we went to the studio to see it has got excellent acoustic sound absorption, insulator and automobiles, wall planning, as I just mentioned, carpeting. When you have those mattresses also, you instead of using coir sheets, you can use these pseudo-stem sheets. So basically, what are we trying to achieve? We are trying to create an alternative to the depleting natural resources. at the risk of, sounding same. Okay, again, as I said, the advantages are very simple. I mean, they're on the board, disposable of banana pseudo stem in an eco-friendly way, monetary benefit. I would say primarily monetary benefit to the farmers. Because the farmers, so ideally what we did in this scenario, in Nasik, we identified agro waste industry where they grow these tomatoes and bananas and all for the export market. It's a huge company. They employ 500 women workers. It's an all-women oriented company. So to supplement the income of the women, okay, I'm just talking about women, sorry to say, but the thing was that they have been so hardworking that the companies offered them a lot of incentives also. So we gave them additional monetary benefit if they can use the same waste, because anyways they are doing the picking process. When they go in the farms and pick, we said additionally if you even collect the fibers and the waste from that, we will give you an X amount of money. What did we achieve? We achieved a very good economic recession because we didn't have to pay them extra money. This was just a supplementary income because we also have to reduce the cost, right? Today, if I sell my garment for 10,000, nobody is going to buy. If I sell this jacket for like X amount, nobody is going to buy. Like yesterday, somebody said 1 lakh for sari, I think. Sir, you know that. But we have to think commercial. So as a designer, and today I would like to say it's all about business of fashion. Okay, however creative you are, of course it's a piece of art, but the end of it, the marketing and the costing plays a very important role. So if you don't see this at every stage, then ultimately you're left with a product which is so high in cost, and it will be a museum piece where there will be collectors who will love it because wow, it's so good, it's made by so and so, like we did the handloom couture. So it will stay a couture garment, but what are we trying to achieve today? We are trying to achieve a business of fashion, which means to say we are trying to achieve economizing and garments which are made for everyone. Not only in the national market, but even international market, because India is primarily an agricultural country. So what are we achieving? Sustainability from the fiber stage, then the yarn, and then the garment. Okay, so this is a little bit about the uses of the fiber. Or even organic manure. So that's what I'm saying. It took us so many years because every waste we were trying to see what else we can do. And trust me, not only we, then the farmers themselves, these women are so smart, they themselves said, I mean, in Marathi, I'm not going to say it, but still, don't worry, we'll manage. And they themselves realized that it is such a good fertilizer for their own crops. So that's what I'm saying, that, they are very smart, they're very hardworking. All they need is a little guidance and a push in the right direction. And the minute you do this, trust me, and the minute they know that they are going to improve their economic conditions and they're not going to be staying in that same, area all their lives, they will go beyond the means. But as I said at the earlier part when I started the presentation, there are a lot of motivation, at the onset, that what benefit they will do. We cannot see that how it will benefit the country, how it will benefit, because they are not interested in knowing how it will benefit the country. They are interested in knowing how it will increase their salary. If they are getting, trust me, there are people working for 50 rupees a day in these clusters. Now, what is 50 rupees a day in Mumbai? I'm sure one tea you take cost you 10 rupees today. In a day you're spending 50 on just snacking or whatever. Even like day I'm saying, maybe in another 2 hours. So when they are surviving in 50 rupees and you're able to generate 200 rupees a day, for them it is, nahi, madam karna hai. Chalo. So one person you motivate, no, that person motivates everybody. Because she knows the entire community, So that is the challenge. Ideally, anything new you start or any clusters you guys go, it's important to get one leader in the group, and you'll always find one leader in the group. I'm sure you guys must have also found. One leader is always there in the group, will say, madam, give it to me. They are very happy to give work to the others, okay? So yeah, a little bit more from a part of the fibers, vermicompost and paper. Of course, you can use it in different uses. We got, in fact, for my daughter's wedding, I got seed paper in done invites because I just wanted to do it. So sometimes, you know, like you get so passionate in your journey and it becomes part of your thesis and it becomes part of your life, and then that passion gets converted into a lot of levels. So sap as a liquid fertilizer, mordant in textiles, then other edible products also. Yes, so candies, we had it in Tiruchirappalli. So this was another cluster in the south where she made candies for us. So that's what I'm saying. And achar. I have forgotten to mention the achar also, and she specially gifted to us that please madam take it. So you know, you feel so happy that whatever you have done for them or whatever little, and when they are going beyond to do something more innovative, that is when you feel that yes, you have broken and overcome these challenges, whatever were there over a period of a decade almost. So here a little bit on why are we doing. Obviously recycling environmental waste, and the chemical, as everybody knows, it's a very rich fiber in calcium. It's very rich in calcium. So in remedy of symptoms of arthritis, other absorption, and yes, even when the garment is made, I had given it to one like journalist, Sangeeta must be knowing, Marcel. So he had worn that jacket, you remember? So I told him specially, I said afterwards just see if it's softening your skin or no. So, you know, things like that, but to jokes apart. So this is a small endeavor. It's a very small endeavor which, you know, we are trying to do. It's nothing big compared to all the clusters which other organization has done. But I feel even a small difference, if we can make in the entire value chain, or even a small difference each of us can make today, goes a long way in not only providing, you know, employment to the weavers, to the workers. This is just at the what stage? Extraction stage, I'm saying. I've not even come to the yarn formation. I've not even come to the fabric formation stage. So imagine it starts from the extraction, then it goes to the spinning of the yarn, and then it goes from the yarn to the fabric. But yarn to the fabric stage, there are a lot of power looms all over India. You can give it to any power loom, because even, you know, in the warping, even if the power loom has a silk thread, or in the warping the power loom has a cotton thread or any thread, all you have to do is insert your yarn in the wefting process, because the yarn at this stage is still not very sturdy. It's still not very sturdy. So it can go in the wefting, but the minute you pull it on the warping stage, there is, you know, you have a question mark in breakage because of the tensile strength. So that is one thing which you have to be little careful about. But yes, we are definitely working on it. So in the future, we can see 100% you know, warped and weft, you know, pseudo-stem fabrics. But yes, so as a small endeavor, I would say, generating more than 2 lakh jobs alone in the spinning process, obviously, because the entire extraction, then converting the raw fibers into the spinning and converting into the bales, into yarns, which can be used for weaving, that itself is a huge process, and that is a challenge. So what are we trying to achieve here? Social equity, sustainable economic development at every stage. Okay, so these are the few, just a few images of the collection which I showed you the video earlier. And you know, whatever was wasted, we even used for the ornamentation down because I was telling my people in my studio that kuch bhi waste nahi hona chahiye, bahut mehenga hai. Because it was actually so expensive, because after 1-2 years, we finally got the fiber ready so that we could weave it. So we wanted to be very careful. And then, of course, even in my studio, in my workplace, factory place also, whichever, you know, fabric waste which is there, used it to create this pipe-in effect, you know, so that even the fabric is not wasted, you know, so that also makes a difference, and at the same time, it's economical. So this was the collection which you have seen. So a few images of trying to make it modern and stylish so that it becomes more attractive. Because if you only make a jacket and you say, "Theek hai," you have putting an X amount on the jacket, because you know, you have worked hard from the fiber stage, is not going to appeal. So to create an aesthetic appeal at every stage, I think it was very important to make it as glamorous and as attractive as possible. So so another interesting fact, okay, we dyed the fiber. I said, let me make it maroon and black is my favorite color. So I said, chalo, black works very well in jackets, especially for menswear. Because now beige happening. Sangeeta, you've seen the beiges in my studio. It's like everything is beige because the fiber's natural color is a beautiful beige. And it's got its gloss. The pseudo stem has a gloss of its own. So you don't want to dye it because you enjoy seeing the fiber at this stage, and you enjoy even seeing the garment. The aesthetic appeal is very high. But then we decided that everybody was commenting the entire studio, so we said, let's put it in colors. So we got colors, but I realized that the black color loses its shine. It becomes very dull. Okay, the color absorption is strong, but it loses its sheen. And second, as I was mentioning, dimensional stability. So when the fiber loses its dimensional stability, okay, what do you mean by dimensional stability? Come on. Because I'm just talking, I just want to know whether it's interactive or no. What do you mean? All the designers here, come on. It shrinks. Okay, so when you're making a size large and you give it for dry clean, no, you don't even wash it at home, okay, it becomes a size small. The shrinkage, the water absorption in the fiber is very high, compared to other natural fibers like cotton. Even though the warping was done in cotton, even though the water absorption was very high. So that is one disadvantage. We realized it and we tried to work on it. We tried to dip it in, like the yarn, into water. We tried to soak it. You know how you soak this cotton lining before you give it for your linings and blouses, etc. The same way. We tried to dip the whole, I think there is a picture of this. We tried to dip the whole yarn in the bucket of water for some time overnight to soak, so that as much as water absorption, which is there, should be done at this stage. So later when you convert into fabric, the fabric remains smooth. Then you don't have those irregularities. Remember, when the yarn is not twisted correctly, you have that irregularities in the yarn. I'm not talking about chenille yarns, which are novelty yarns. I'm talking about normal cotton fabric or normal linen, even a linen fabric which you buy. A gauze linen, I would say, a loosely woven linen, at times you can see certain, like you feel it's a defect in the weaving, but it may not be a weaving defect. It may be the defect at the yarn stage itself. Okay, so you have to look into all those small technical details which, before you even get into making the garment. So as I said, and yes, one of this, was again, this was another kind of an experiment which I wanted to do, because the skirts were falling flat because the fiber was not so stiff when I did the dipping in water. So I got it starched. And then I created, because I wanted a volume. You've seen those certain garments, there was a volume on it. So you have to be a thinker at every stage. I think the fashion industry is the most dynamic industry. So not only for innovation in terms of garments at the final, I think, design stage, but I think the stage starts long prior. So these are just few pictures, and this is the press when you were there. So this is a small endeavor which, I wanted to do as part of promotional activities. So we thought, why not create a hype? Like, as you know today, I've been talking about it all the time, business of fashion. We didn't want it to be a handloom couture, museum piece, chalo ek garment bich gaya, chalo no problem, like a bridal wear. No, we wanted to make it more marketable. We wanted to reach out to more people. So this was a very, something which was again close to my heart. So we got a lot of consulate women. Sonia, so she's been a pioneer of textiles worldwide. She's a global ambassador and etc., etc. So we got her to promote, So we got women like these, 99 women. Still there are slots open for a woman. Today I'm talking only women oriented. So there are slots open if anybody wants to fill those slots for promotion. You're most welcome to do the shoot. So there is a short video on this. There is a short video on this which was used as a promotional exercise. And then we can do a Q&A. So this is, I wanted to show you this slide again. Is it come? 1 second. Yeah. So this slide, even the warping was done in banana pseudo stem on this. And it was not, okay, I'm too close to the mic. Okay, and in the wefting process, we had taken 4 threads. You can see these cushions. We had taken 4 different yarns, you know, when you make certain types of cushions and for home furnishing. So I would like to stress this. So any kind of agro waste, you take pineapple waste, or you take coir, or you take even hemp, or you take any waste, okay, agricultural waste. It works very good for artifacts and home fashions. So we have done a lot of artifacts too, and they have come out beautifully. The simple reason being, it is more economical because you're not doing a lot more processes when you're making it into a garment. You know, when you make it into a garment, filament yarn, the yarn has to be smooth, the weaving process has to be good, so entire, you know, process. But when you're making home furnishings, you're not going to wash it every day, you're not wearing it. Okay, either it could be even those table runners. So we got very nice, you know, you must have seen in so many of these stores, the jute table runners and mats and all. So this is an alternative and it looks very aesthetic. You can see, I'm not sure if the picture is looking so nice, but even the shading, I have not dyed it. This is the natural color of the fiber. Because you're not, you are extracting the fiber, right? You're not dyeing the fiber. So this was used in its natural phase, keeping it as close to nature as possible. So all the variations in the design which you see in the first picture, and all the color variations where you can see is the fiber itself, which was discolored at times, which had different variations. But I found it very aesthetic looking, and I thought it could look different than getting a pure, you know, cotton dipped or anything else. So that is another beauty which I think all designers have to be innovative. You know, sometimes you don't need to do certain processes. You can use the material as raw as possible. As long as you have a strong sense of aesthetic that yes, this is what is going to make it different. You know, same color, uniformity is there. But sometimes there is there is I would say there is a joy or there is a pleasure in even an unorganized mess. Okay, so that is what you have to search and get, you know, that is a challenge. So we'll come back to the final PPT. I hope you didn't get bored. How many of you got bored? Raise your hands. No, everybody saying no. Okay, sir, how do I go back to the video, last video? So next time, Rupa ma'am, you will see a lot of students in your class giving you candies from the rice waste. You never know what they come up with, those energy bars or anything. That's what they made. They made energy bars and all. They didn't want to waste anything. They were so excited because we were excited. You know, sometimes your enthusiasm and your excitement, kind of is so infectious that everybody gets, okay, fine, we want to do. So that is, what I call a motivation program. So this was a very small initiative, of course, and so still, I don't know how many women are over, so please fill in the slots, how many ever women who are interested. Starting from all the NIF faculty members who want to model, because they are modeling the students' creations all the time.
Recycled factory waste supports sustainable livelihoods. Since the yarn conversion of banana pseudostem is a skill-oriented job, more than 2 lakh jobs can be generated alone in the spinning process.
Hi, I am Sonia Hayes. I'm the spouse of the Consul General of New Zealand in Mumbai. I am the ambassador of a foundation called Global Adjustment Foundation that is based in Chennai. I'm very excited about participating today in this photo shoot about a global issue that is sustainability with Tasman Marchand and her team. And it's been...
Yeah, so that's it. So yeah, we got some of the fabrics also screen printed because the color was getting too, beigey all around. So I got it screen printed in the spring summer collection. I think yellow was the fashion trend forecast color. So yellow with the print, one of the modern prints. So anyone want to ask me any questions? Yes, please. So many. Yeah. This is one place where I need students' help all the time in class also. Getting things on the board. But yes, you want to go to this, right? You want to see this?
No, where you have shown the drawing and you have shown the drawing and all these things.
This one?
And the next one.
This one? Okay.
So it is done on the jute system, I think.
I'll tell you what. One sec. I'll tell you what. The spinning is done on the Raspador machine. You want to see the machine pick?
No, I don't
The extraction?
I don't want to know the spinning press because it's non-oven made, na? So I have to, it is in the jute spinning system.
Yes, the jute.
spinning
But no, I would not say the jute spinning system because a new machine technology has been made, the Raspador technology. This is, it's called the Phoenix Charkha by Sircot. You know Sircot?
I know Sircot is from
Central Institute for Research
Dr.
in Cotton Technology at Matunga.
Dr. Madhayan.
Dr. Rajan Nachne.
Rajan, okay. No,
Dr. Rajan Nachne was a principal scientist. In 2009, he was as passionate as me. So he was like, we will do it together. And I mean, it's been so many years now, he's already retired. But I would like to say this, the Phoenix Charkha was entirely created new, of course, using a little bit from the jute extraction machine. And we also tried to do the extraction in Nirjap. You know Nirjap in Kolkata.
I was working with Nirjap for 3 years.
Fantastic. So we did in Nirjap also. We did in Nirjap, and then we got the yarn done. The spinning from the spinning to the yarn formation in Mantra. Mantra is in Maharashtra, in Nagpur area.
Mantra and Surat?
Surat, but like that entire belt, you know. So we got it done over there, and some of the fabrics which I got it screen printed, I got it done in Surat.
No issues, ma'am. That drawing part, I think it's in carding feet.
Yes.
So that's all. Second thing is that a sap, you have utility. You have mentioned the utilities of the sap.
Yes.
One of the utilities reported for impart certain fire retardant property in fabrics.
Correct. Can you come here? I can't hear.
Certain reports are there that sap can be used for imparting fire retardant property in fabric.
Very good.
Fire retardant properties.
Yeah.
So,
And I have to even say one more thing. It also helps as a UV protection.
Exactly.
UV protection. I'll just share with you, coming to your question only before I forget, because as I said, you know, you tend to forget a lot of information assimilated, but in the Shenzhen Science and Technological Center, which is in China, there is this place where they make uniforms out of agro waste for military who are working on higher altitudes, because the UV rays are very high. So unfortunately, we studied the project. We went to Philippines also. We came back to Mumbai, and in the textile committee, we tried to do a lot of work, but red tapeism. Sorry.
Okay, again, that thing is that Dr. Kartik Shamanta from Nirjap, he has worked extensively on that. So if you are working on home textiles using banana, so that will be a help. An added property using natural material to impart fire retardant.
Talk in front of the whole audience, please. I think people would like to see what knowledge you are imparting.
So what my point is that if you are going for making home textiles.
Can you face them? Can you face
Okay, I am not a speaker right now.
It's okay.
See, in home textiles, there is a property required for fire retardancy. And fire retardancy, mainly synthetic chemicals are used. So Dr. Kartik Shamanta from Nirjap, as madam has taken trial in Nirjap, the banana sap can be used to impart certain fire retardant property on a fabric, particularly in lignocellulosic fabric. So this can add an added effect if you have done any work in this direction. That's the only input.
It's a piece of art. I don't know how many of you have gone there, but it is wonderful. The kind of work they are doing is the kind of work they are doing in Jirjaf is. So if he's worked over there, I'm sure all you guys can catch him for all your things, because that place, the product development over there is beautiful, and how they have displayed it.
Okay, so that is why I was very excited to see this kind of work, because at Nirjap there are several products done in this line, but to showcase them, how it should look like in its full glory.
So I would like to add one more thing. Sorry, I didn't get your name.
Sayandip. Sayandip. It's a Bengali name, it may sound difficult. Sayan, you might get Sayan. S-A-Y-N.
S-A-Y-M. Okay, Sayan. Okay.
N.
N. Okay. Sorry if I got it wrong, but I would like to say, those who have not visiting Nijab, the work is beautiful. The products, as I said, the home furnishing products over there, since we are stressing agro waste primarily works fantastic for home furnishing products, and Nijab has so many samples. But as I mentioned at the onset, there is a lot of delay in the supply chain. It cannot have a regular mechanism to reach out to everybody. So I think we need to stress on that. Sampling stage, yes, we are able to create beautiful sampling, 50 samples, 100 samples. But today, have we thought that tomorrow you have an order for 3 lakh pieces? How would you do it? That is one. I asked we did, I think, a 3-day workshop over there, and that is my only concern, that I'm not seeing this in any of the home stores. There are so many home stores, there's IKEA, and today it's so easy to put it up in any kind of, I'm sorry, I'm taking a lot of time. And but just like a finale to this. So what is important for all of us today is marketing. How can you reach out to not only Indian audience, but how you can reach out also on an international platform. Okay, and imagine you have showcased in home stores or in IKEA, where. This is just one. I'm sure there are so many other stores.
The main problem is the supply chain. It's so little yield.
Sorry, he has to say something.
Just one, just use your.
Yeah.
We want to first, honor you, Tasneem ma'am. So I invite Ms. Sangeeta Jain, Senior Director, AI, to please come on the stage, and then we'll continue because she has to leave. Your presence, Tasneem ma'am, was a great honor for all of us today. And we also honor you with a memento for your presence. Thank you, Sangeeta ma'am. Carry on with your deliberations.
Tasneem, I've seen your journey over the years working with Banana Textiles, and a couple of questions I had. One is, the world now is looking to a sustainable model for couture, but not just couture, even Pret. So like H&M, for example, now believes that you bring your old clothes back so that they can recycle.
Yeah, correct.
In India, what level of awareness do we have among consumers, according to you? Secondly, there must be a higher cost to a sustainable model, right? So how does one, so how does that overcome that challenge, given with the pandemic, people are buying less anyways, right?
Right.
So you're already facing a decline in consumer.
Right.
So how does one build and tell people it's worth that extra buck? You're employing more people. And my third question is whether you have already employed a sizable number of rural artisans, because you keep saying it's a projected number, 2 lakhs, but whether you've already managed to employ quite a few.
Yes, for the yarn we had to do. That was from 2009 onwards. For the yarn formation we had to do, because the yarn formation, it was a government project. So the yarn formation is, you have to have tons of waste to get one yarn. Like I have yarn with me still lying, but this yarn which I have, I'm not able to use it for garments. I have to either use it for home furnishing or for accessories. So, and second, to answer your question, the fast fashion, or as you can say, the economical fashion, yes. I think yesterday also the discussion was on that only. Then how many of us are going to be paying the price of a 1 lakh handloom sari? But I would like to say that every collection which I do should not exceed beyond 10,000. At least in terms of Pret wear. Or if it can even lower the cost to 5, I would be most happy. So that means which means we are reaching out to a larger audience. Okay, and we are able to generate employment not only from spinning yarn to fabric and onwards, the entire supply chain journey. And to answer your third question, I would also say this, yes, we need to market, we need to talk about it, we need to create an awareness that it's aesthetic, it's smart, but like most of my customers also tell me that Indian wear we have to dry clean, bahut kharcha hota hai. Everyone, we have to spend money on the dry cleaning part. So that is one. And second, it loses its dimensional stability, so you have to have it ironed correctly before you wear it. Okay, you can't, because it's not a synthetic fiber, right? It's a natural fiber, and natural fibers, the fibers are not straightened. So you need to get it properly laundered. So those are the two things which take a lot of effort, especially for a Western clientele. And I must add this because I was working, you've seen, almost 20 years with the studio and everything else. So when customers come face off and tell us that, please give me something which I don't have, which is low in maintenance. So this low maintenance is one thing which I'm sure everybody, like she's also working, editor of magazines, and also, morning you want to just dress up, you want to look your best, and you want to leave the house. So you want to bother about small things that it's like, and then you're traveling, and, so you want to reinvent your garment throughout the day, and you want to look throughout the day. So that is one. And what did you talk about?
So whether the consumer will be willing to pay that extra buck.
Exactly, consumer to pay. So that is what I'm saying, that what we did in Nasik, beyond Nasik, was this rural area only. We tried to reduce cost. That's what I said. We didn't have it, during the day activity. So for them, if they're earning 50 rupees, you get 100, 200, you're happy. But the minute you tell them that you're giving a very small amount and you're doing, they will not do. They will not do anything free of charge. I'm sure you've seen it. The artisans value their time. They rather wash bartans in somebody's houses than they do any of your, tedious spinning. They will love to do repetitive work because it does not require a highly skill. And some smart ones are willing to learn. So you need to tap them. You need to motivate. The first thing, Sangeeta, motivation on the onset, which takes a lot of time. And how it will improve their lifestyles. Because when you talk of India level, India ke liye kar rahe, nahi. For them, how much money we are getting is more important. They are not interested in knowing what progress India does, because that is a too larger a map for them. For them, they are happy in their own comfort zones. Otherwise the third generation is moving out. They are becoming Uber, Ola drivers and things like that. So which we've seen in all these handloom clusters also. So that is, anything more?
No, so my point was about, say, today, the couture collection that you made, right?
Yeah.
How affordable was that collection?
So this, honestly speaking, affordability, yes, I've not put a high markup, obviously, because it has to sell the minute you, and it's not a bridal wear. Sorry, yeah. Time, yeah. We are done. I'm sorry, we are done. But I would just like to say, in bridal wear, you can charge that X amount. But when you're doing something as a Indo-Western or a smart formal wear, you have to be very, very conservative in your pricing. Okay, thank you. You can ask me any questions during lunchtime. I think I've exceeded a lot of time limit.
Thank you very much, Tasneem ma'am. It was a wonderful sharing which you did.
Thank you very much, Yash.
And I must tell you another secret. Today I was sitting with Tasneem ma'am in the morning before the function started.
What's the secret?
And we were just talking to each other. And she said that I have a married daughter and I also have a son of 21. So I told her, did your daughter get married at 14? Because she looks like 35 herself. Please. How you manage this, I don't know.
Everybody knows my age in this group, so it's okay.
No, we are not here for that. But give her a big round of applause. Thank you very much. And the question answer session was very interesting. It brings